for me, all the systems, groups, and whatever that are setting up a wall of difference, whether it's perceived, sure it is, but it's not impossible to break it. All the differences that are between people are caused by ignorance and prejudice. And we are not innocent. Nobody is innocent. For example, people tend to present, in America in particular, said, well, we were taken as slave traders. Yeah, sure, they were bad, but look at, the slave traders. I heard she talked about this lady. Slave traders usually stayed on the coast because they could not penetrate. Even, yes, there were military operations. They tried to destroy the Arochukwu Juju, the long Juju, but that could not have done it. They met with people that were willing to give away their brothers to them as slaves. And my husband knows people in his family that did that. Every family had a connection of one kind or the other, at least in Igbo land. I don't know the others, So it happened that it's just like they say it takes two to tango. You cannot dance alone. You need a partner. And that is, honesty needs to recognize that absolutely transatlantic trade was really bad and wicked, but Nigerians cooperated, unfortunately. It happened.
All right, that would need to be explained. Also, I subscribe to the idea that it is not only one side where we are looking at slavery or even colonialism or the neo-colonialism that we have going on across Africa today. Africans need to hold themselves accountable for their own part of the game, because the game, it is not played only by one, it is played by two. Yeah. That had to be understood. That is clear. Or your explanation that racism or the discrimination is something that people cause to themselves. I don't think I'm quite sure I understand that part. Because now what I want you to explain, because I believe that it is not a random behavior, that maybe there are these 20 people coming from Nigeria, they decide to segregate themselves. That is why there is segregation in there against them. I think it is deeper than that. I think there is a system that sort of feed itself in it. And for this to be a system, there is a way that it works, no? So I want to go back to the root again. Where does the concept of race, where is it coming from? Because you also said that it had not always been like that. So from your research, from your study, where is this concept itself is coming from? And of course, later, we're going to talk about, also touch a little bit about this slavery, and if for the fact that some Africa are guilty enough, really they are, for having collaborated in selling other people, if that one justify the treatment that African America have to undergo, the injustice untold that they undergo, I don't think that justified. But anyway, let's leave that aside for now. Where is race itself coming from, the concept?
I have not studied it deeply, but from what I read, it is something that started, I think, either 18th or 19th century, and it had to do with the discovery of people that were different. Say, for example, people from Europe exploring different countries. And I remember, what I'm going to say is not racist. It is part of my own experience. When I was young, I was in primary school. Those days, there were descriptions of people by their color or perceived color. For example, I'm saying they were called Red Indians, those people that are the autochthones of the United States now. there was a book that was called the boat experience in Yellow one. That's Yellow was describing the Asians. That's I'm talking of Chinese in particular. People, you know, they were using color, but it was not in a discriminatory manner. That is, those things that were written was just trying to say, oh, these people are different. And I think it was, you know, riding on the back of this race thing that was created to make a difference for people. For example, during the Nazi era, the Jews were considered as subhuman. And it's the same system that you want to maltreat people or do something to them that you wouldn't do to your compatriots. You just use a name to separate yourself from them, to distance yourself from them. But what I'm saying is not, you know, it was not something that was there at the beginning. Now, on the other side to it, for example, there is something that people do in France and possibly here is they are checking people on the street. In France, it's quite common. The police goes around and decides to stop people and ask them for their papers, what they call papers. That's prove who you are to. And they do that to combat crime. And usually what they do is they don't stop the Franco-French. So people feel that they are stopped because they look different. They look like Arabs, they look like blacks, and so on. But the problem is the police. I'm not saying the police is innocent. The problem is try and understand, you know, why they are doing that. The reason being that many of these people that look like that have been proved to be disruptive of the you know, and that can be proved abundantly.
All right, I have a question for you there before we move to the next one. The people that look like that, and that in this case are maybe Africans, the Arab. These people, because we see this repeated again, often and again in the United States, in France, in the United States more, but of course also in the UK. So these people that look like that appears to be criminals, no? All right. These people are criminal. Let's just put it like that. Africans are criminal. In fact, Africans are treated often as criminal in front of the law, no? Because the law also was set up like this. I just finished an interview, a very intense interview, where we talk about the law, how the law actually is set up to punish other people, no? But what I want to understand here is, was the prison set up because there are people coming from Africa and Asia? I mean, if these people were not there, would there still be criminal in, say, in French society, in typical German society without immigrants, in the United States only among themselves? Would there still be criminal, or they cannot be criminal among them? So only these people that look like different, they are the suspects. So the police need to always go there to check these criminals that are coming around so that we can save the society. Help me understand that.
No, this is not the way. There were prisons before, long before. And in France, there was the beheading of criminals, and it continued till 1981. The last one was beheaded in 1981. These people that were beheaded were not foreigners. They were French, okay? Now, the prisons were not built for foreigners. They were built for French and the people that are living in France, for example, or in the UK for that matter. Now, the problem is that it's a deep-seated problem, and it has nothing to do with the skin color. It is the fact that people, for example, people have been studying, I don't know about the UK very much, but France, I know what's going on. Now, people come and they come thinking that the place is an El Dorado, like one of my brothers was saying when he was telling us, don't come to France. It's not, you're not going to find what you want. And I was saying, I'm not coming to look for something. I'm coming just on sabbatical for a year. So don't fear me now. You know, I'm your sister. Okay. So many of these people don't know Europe. They have been hearing a lot of lies, in fact, because people that come, for example, somebody at Nsuka, the wife was, like they said, overs. She went overs and she was sending money home. Nobody knew what she was doing. People thought she was in the, third sky, third heavens. The reality was that she was a nanny, keeping kids for rich people. So she was not in a glamorous work, but people thought she had a right. Do you understand? So many of people come because they are told everything is rosy there. You have water, just on the tap, water is there, you have this, you have that. They don't tell them the whole truth. So people come and then they get frustrated because they cannot integrate